Hello and welcome. It's a brand new day. So I'm just about to screw in the bulkhead into the aluminium. I've got a self-tapping screws. So what I have done is put this bulkhead board onto here and then trace out the outline from the back. So that way I can drill pilot holes into the bulkhead and then see where I can put the screws in. If you look, I've got outlines. Give me a rough idea where to drill the holes for the pilot holes with the drill, and then I can put the screws in, self-tapping screws into it. That way I'll know that they're secure. So yeah, I'm just gonna drill. It's quite cold outside. It's about -2 degrees. That's why I've got the heater running. So yeah, I'm just gonna drill the pilot hole now, and then when that's all done, then I'll be able to screw it into the bulkhead. I'll do this side first. Once I finish that side, then I'll do this side. But first, do this side. Right. So, not sure if you can see, I've got the holes drilled all the way through. Because I've got this self-tapping screw back. Where is it? Let's have a look. Easy drive 3.5 times 25 mil. I went for the 25 mil because I've got 20 mil aluminium. I've got a 9 mil poplar ply. So if I go through the 9, I have about 15 mil that goes into the aluminium. So yeah. Okay, right. I'm gonna start drilling this now and let you know how it goes. I'm back. I've just drilled the first screw. There. It's gone in. I'm just inserted the other screws. It's a lot of screws, but the good thing about that is I have 1,000 of these. So I don't have to not use them. Anyway, just to show you the first screw, this is what it looks like. There. Just perfect. So I chose the right length. So it goes through this. Let me show you very quickly. So it goes through this and then into the aluminium. So it's perfect. So I'm just gonna continue drilling all these screws through and then go from there. Right. Okay. Just screwed all the nails, all the screws into the aluminium. And this is what it looks right from this side. You can see them all. Maybe a few. Oh yeah, it looks good. I'm glad I went for the self-tapping screws. Makes my life a lot easier. So after I finish doing the whole thing, when I finish with the whole bulkhead, I'll put some wood fillers there and then sand it down and then paint over it. You'll never know. Well, unless you're watching this video. If you are watching this video, comment below and tell me what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe. So I finished this one now. Just about to do this one. Just in case you want to see how I did it. This is how I'm doing it. With a clamp. Not just joking. Yeah, so I'm going to clamp this board to this aluminium. So that way I get a straight edge. Because at the moment it's not really completely straight. Because nothing is straight in this van. So I'll get a straight edge and then I'll clamp it together. And then I'll be able to drill in these first slots. When I finish that, I'll drill the next ones and the next ones. Okay, I'll show you how I did it the first couple of times. Right, it's now clamped in place. It's now smooth. Okay, so now what I do, now that I know it's clamped in place, I get the drill. I make sure don't drill it too fast. And just drill. The first one is in. The next one. And then repeat yourself all over until you finish the whole thing. Okay. Right. It's all done. All gone through the aluminium. Right. So All good. See? All gone through. Well, I'm very happy. Now this is sturdy. Right, so next I will fix up this end and then try and get it to the wall and then put insulation, start putting into, and also this end also, and then start putting insulation in there. That's the plan. Okay, I just had to do a few things. I've got a heater running for the few hours now. So if you notice behind me, I just put this in temporarily, so that way when I put the top part of the bulkhead, it leans on this. But if you see, it's got a gap in here, and I just put the supports cut at an angle of 15 degrees to match the plastic here. I haven't drilled any holes yet, but what I'm trying to do now is measure out the distance from here to here and then put a bar so it's flush with this. I just go straight across ahead, and then that way the bar will support the front of the bulkhead when I put it in. That's the plan anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna drill some holes and secure this in and then build the rod and show you how it goes. Okay, right, so I have put this one on. Just drill the bolt here through these two aluminium, so through these two, and then put a knot there to secure it. I put a thread on here so that way this is pushed back. So just to show you how I've done it, I'm gonna do the same thing on here, but I'll video myself doing it so that way you see how I did it, just in case you want to do the same. Okay, so safety first and then glasses. The last thing you want is aluminum to fly off and go in your eye. So protect your eyes. So before I put any hole in here, I make sure this is where I want to be. Make sure this is flush, and then this doesn't really matter as much as far as this is flush. Make sure it's in the center and it's flush. So what I then do is hold this on to the plastic and then pick where I want to drill. Just have to make sure this is flush, because once you get a hole in there, it makes a difference. Okay, that's gone through. Okay, step drill. The aim is just to get it wide enough so this sits inside. Perfect. So I found it easier to use the drill, the bolt itself, to make the tapping for this part. So I found it easier, put it in the drill. Put it on a low speed, put it in the drill. It doesn't matter how it is in the drill. So that just goes through. Get it right for the next one, and then okay, it's done. I'm not sure if you can see this. If you look, oh yeah, I've got a hole in my gloves. So if you look, you can see the tapping on there. So yeah, so next when I go put the screw in, it's just going to the tap, easy as that. So next is I'll clean off all this filing everywhere, and then once that's filing all cleaned up, now I'll put this into the aluminium. Next is to put this nut into here. So I'll just put this bolt through. Place it in there. And then just hold the nut so it doesn't get to the aluminium. So before I get it very tight, I get the bolts and then put this in the nuts, in the bolt, and use the nut, loosen the nut so it goes against this aluminium and pushes the bolt in place, and then this one goes back, if that makes sense. Okay. Right, it's almost there. Just need to add a few more supports and then that should hold it in place. My aim is just to have enough support so that way when the plywood goes on here, it stays straight, it doesn't flop or up and down. So that's it. And then next, calculate the distance from here to here, and then put aluminium here, put one of these in here, and then another one in here, another one in there. So that way I should be able to have enough support for the plywood to lean on. That's what I'm gonna do. Oops. Okay. I'll come back to you when I finish that. So I've now strengthened up the aluminium to make it stronger and added a few more support structures. So what now, when I put the plywood, this will pushing it this way, and then this part will pushing it that way. So it should stay still. I have cut it out of my scrap plywood. I haven't cut it in my real mill ply for now because I will be busy for the next week or so. And once I'm free again, I'll be able to cut it and make it work. Okay, so this is what it should look like once it's finished. And I'll have a door here that comes out and opens up. Or I might have a sliding door, but I think I'll have an opening door instead. But yeah, it's looking not too bad. Okay. So I have now cut this plywood out in a 9mm. I haven't secured it yet because I need to do a few things first. I'll just show you. So before I secure it, I need to be able to make sure that the gap, this gap, is filled up from the other side, and I'm using this plywood. I've already notched out the part where I've got joints. I have joints there. That goes in there. So this is how it should look like. I'll just show you in a second. Okay, I'm now in the cab. So this is how it should look like once I install it completely. So it should look like that. So I'm just gonna do that now. I'm gonna install into the aluminium. Do that now, and then I should be able to start insulating these parts. That's the plan. Right, so it's getting a bit hot, so I took out my hat. Right, so it's now installed. Solid. I'm pulling it down, it's solid. So just to show you, there it is. is now installed. So what I'll do next is start getting insulation to put on here, and I'll need to take these seats out, and after that I need to cut this panel out to make a hole for the workstation, and also here to make a hole for the storage. Sorry, I mean here, I was covering you up on the camera. Make a hole for the storage. So it's looking good, slowly getting there. Yeah, okay. Right, so I have just finished this part. I've installed this side with a 3mm ply, and then also here I put on an aluminium with 3mm ply, so that way I can mount the gas struts on here and it looks like wood, and then it goes, opens the door and closes the door. I think I might mount 2 gas struts, one here and one here. I'll see how it goes, but from this side, the bulkhead is done. Well, almost. Just need to fill out. When I finish insulating, I'll fill all these holes and then with wood filler, and then sand it down and then paint over it. Okay.